Welcome to episode 76. I forgot to talk about this guy named called Ka 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 Newport, something like that. But he's a professor at University of fuck Ka Newport, Georgetown. I know it. Yeah, so he he was the guest on Modern Wisdom for the 4 days ago, and he was talking about how, well, a bunch of things, but he mentioned something about reading and how reading forces your brain to work in a way that it's not programmed to do so. Like, we didn't evolve to read, because at the moment when at the moment that when we started reading, it was it was such a different thing that we started making our neurons do, that it it reshapes how your brain works somehow. And and it sounds cool because it made sense. I don't know shit about it. Like, that's all I know. Like, this guy says so. And you know I and I need to I would love to learn the actual science behind reading and what reading does to the brain. But he was saying that reading makes you smarter because it makes your brain works in a different way. And so by reading, then you start to becoming better at writing, because if you read, now you can connect the dots in a way that you would not be able to without reading. And so when you write, it shows up, and you start building this skill, and it helps you articulate your thoughts and think in a different way. And so that's how it makes you smarter. Not He was not talking about the content of the books or the reading materials that one might read, but the actual reading itself. So just reading and reading. And he didn't talk about a difference between actual books or a Kindle. They 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 were talking about how Substack works and why it's not that it's not good, but when we read on a screen, we tend to go all over the place and start just losing our focus. That's what I understood. That's what I understood. So when it comes to an actual book or Kindle, which is, I also found out how Kindles work thanks to this guy, and it's called e-ink, electronic ink. And so a Kindle is not a screen that emits light. There's no light, and it's just actual not actual ink. I was about to say actual ink. There's no ink. It's an electronic ink. And so that's how they simulate an actual page, because it just goes black or white. And so when you turn the page, it actually creates the page you're about to read. And that's why, when if you have a Kindle, I do, when I turn the page on the Kindle, it you kind of see the remaining of the last page you read. And so that's why it's a better option, I think, instead of reading on a screen, even if you turn on the blue light uh, blocker or whatever, because it's pretty similar to an actual page. So then it's more or less a book. And I love my Kindle because I get to download a bunch of books. And I think I mentioned this on that last episode that I found a website called Public Domain. Pub, fuck, I forgot, but I bookmarked it, so I have it here. But the thing is that, yeah, this this was so nice to listen to because I'm so into my Kindle, but I love actual books. But the fact that you have to grab a book and then you have to carry it with you, and it takes space and you can fuck up the book easily, let's say. And the Kindle takes this much space and it's so easy to just take it with you, and it's so easy. Still so straightforward. It's such a good investment, I would call it. And I remember that when I bought my Kindle, it was on sale, supposedly, because fuck Amazon sales, where they just simulate a sale, but then when there's no sale, you see the same fucking price. But whatever. My Kindle was like $100. No, it was not like $100. It was $98, like 3 years ago, about 3 years ago. And it's been a good gadget. So again, yeah, reading makes you smarter because it reshapes your brain, basically. And since I like reading because it's fun. I really find it fun, and the fact that I can't imagine what's happening on the book, I think I'm not reinventing the wheel. A lot of people that read do this, and it's easy to just imagine stuff on your brain while you're reading. But that's what I love, just to create the scenario on my mind and just think and imagine the actual movie, the actual scene going on. It's just so fun. That's what I find fun about reading. And also to think that somebody had to write it. And so somebody had to take the time to just go over each page, just write and rewrite and think, and then send it for to get it published and all published, and all the, I don't know what you need to do to publish a book, but the fact that there's somebody behind it, it's just so amazing. Just like with the song, somebody had to write the song that you listen to, and I just find it fascinating to think about that person sitting down and just doing nothing but the thing, but writing. And that is fun. And so that's what I like about reading. And now that I heard this guy saying that it makes you smarter because it forces your brain, because it didn't evolve to read, so you're making it better, and you're becoming smarter by doing so. That's also cool, because who doesn't want to be smarter? I I want to be smarter, I guess. And so it lets you, it has so many good things, and it's such a fun activity to me. And I think it's been so reading is underrated, I think, because it sounds like it's not fun. It sounds like it's just boring and just not worth it. But I just feel like such a relief from screens. I just feel like such a like if I was like if I were resting when I read, like if I was, is it I was or I were? Sorry, my bad. But yeah, I feel like it's not draining my energy, which I feel when I use my phone. I feel like my phone is draining my energy every time I use it. And that's not what I feel when I read. And so I think it's just as simple as that. As it gives me reading gives me kind of a reward when I finish the session. If it was one page, that's okay. It gives me a reward. It makes me feel better about myself. If it's 5 pages, better. If it's 10 pages, or if it's half an hour of readings, not nonstop, or even an hour, it's just so worth it, because no matter how long the session is, it feels good. It actually feels good. When I use my phone, I just feel so. I'm about to use a word that I'm not sure if it's the right one. Depleted. What does that mean? Depleted. Use up the supply or resources off. I guess it makes sense. Doesn't mean it's, oh shit, Spanish. Agotar. Yeah, I guess it just came. Like it's funny when this happens. It just came, I said. Just came to mind. But the thing is that, yeah, every time I use my phone, I feel just so bad afterwards. And it's not because I'm addicted to my phone, I guess. But I just feel like I'm more tired after using my phone. Like it doesn't help me at all. And that was a good thing that happened when I stopped being a realtor. Because being a realtor, you have to be on top of your fucking phone all day long. And yeah, because if clients are calling you, great. But clients were not calling me, I didn't have clients. So I had to either make calls or just be on social media and be posting stuff, or just looking at the MLS and looking at the stats, or fucking doing whatever around the real estate. And it was so annoying to be on top of everything and be so much time on my phone. And I have two phones, so it was really annoying. Like that was that was so bad. That part I didn't like. I just honestly hated it because I felt so depleted of energy at the end of the day. And so now that I don't do that and that I don't need my phones, it's awesome because I've even left one of them at home, which is that's stupid. It sounds so bad that I have two phones and that I have to leave one at home not to use it. It's a second fucking phone. That's so. What am I? Fucking addicted. And so I need to get rid of one and then just learn to leave it aside and just use it. Not, I'm not saying to have a phone is bad. It's a great tool, and I'm using one of the phones to do this. I don't have a camera or something like that. I'm using the phone. But I want to use my phone as a tool, and I don't want to be used by my phone. Because mm, it sounds bad and ironic. I think it's stupid, kind of, to say that my phone uses me. But yeah, it surely does, because it tells me when to unlock it, and it tells me what app to go into, and it tells me pretty much everything. And that's annoying. That's annoying because I've been used. I am being used by my phone, not the other way around. So yeah, I need to. I have 2 months left on this phone, and I have about 8 or 9 months left of contract on this one. So this year I'm gonna make changes in regards to my phone environment, if that makes sense, and yeah, to make more use of my Kindle, and to feel just better at the end of the day, because it's again, it's just sucking energy, and that feels bad. And also, it's just annoying to just have the need or feel the urge to go grab that thing and just be looking at it, but no fucking reason. For no fucking reason. It just feels like if I were addicted to smoking, where you have to have the thing on your fingers, in your fingers all the time. Feels like that. So I don't like that. I'd rather grab my Kindle and start reading instead of these things. But that's something I'll have to work on this year. And since I'm not a realtor anymore, I don't need two phones at all. Fuck that. I just need one phone, my Kindle, and nothing else, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Today I took the bus to work, and in the morning something strange happened, because the bus driver had to go back to pick up a guy on a wheelchair, and so she dropped us off on a random stop. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is not an Uber. But I had to wait for another bus to take that one and get to the second actual bus. And so yeah, that was odd. And then on the way back, I I fucking fell asleep. That was I I read for a bit. So I read like for about 15 to 20 minutes, let's say. And then I fell asleep for another 15. So it was a good ride. And so I didn't use my phone. Like on the way back, I forced myself not to use my phone. And it worked. And so I was not checking on the ETA for the buses. I was just at the stops waiting. Like somebody had to do 15, 20 years ago. There was no Google Maps. There was not such a thing. No such thing. So you had to just be at the stop and wait. So I played that game today on the way back home, and it was fun. It was worth it, I guess. So I'm kind of desintoxicating. I have no idea if that exists. And that felt good. Yo soy Bruno, and I'll see you on the next one.